Today we're going to talk about campaigns, ad sets, and ads on the Facebook advertising platform. This is one fundamental you don't want to miss and is critical to understand before you start any campaign. I'm also going to give you some advertising nuggets of gold, so you'll want to stick around to the end to hear those. So very quickly, let me tell you a little bit about myself. My name's Michael, and like many of you, I'm many things. I'm a father, a husband, a software developer, a real estate investor, and a marketing guy. At the time of this writing, I'm 35. I live in beautiful San Francisco. I've worked at very small startups as well as a few larger Fortune 100 companies like Amazon and Cisco. I'm really passionate about combining my knowledge of these different industries such as real estate, marketing, and data analysis to help generate leads and grow businesses of all sizes. Really, I just want to see my clients have massive success, and my process to see that success is teaching what I've learned, continually testing and experimenting to build upon past success like layers so we can break through those barriers, continually evolve, and be moving forward. So I hope you join me on that journey. So this presentation is going to be about the differences between the hierarchy of campaigns, ad sets, and ads. We'll walk through each of those so you can see them demonstrated. We'll do that in the Power Editor, and then I'll finish with a few key points to think about. So first, a little disclaimer, the Facebook ads platform is constantly evolving and changing. Sometimes it seems like it changes between morning and night. This is mostly good for advertisers, but don't be surprised by the time you see this video if it looks a little different. I don't imagine that the fundamental concept of campaigns should change that much, but you never know. So why is this important? Understanding the ad campaign structure is a basic fundamental that you'll want to know to advertise effectively on Facebook. Without it, you're going to lack control over the spend, budget, and effective delivery of your campaigns. So the Facebook ad campaign structure or hierarchy, really it all boils down to this. The campaign, what are your objectives? The ad set, who are you targeting? And the ads, what are your creatives? It's pretty simple. So here's a diagram of that flow. So this would be the campaign ad sets, which are sets of ads, and then your ads that live within those ad sets. So now let's look at the campaign and go into a little bit more detail. Basically, there's two things we're doing here. We're setting our objectives, and we're going to tell Facebook how we're going to buy those ad slots. So as far as objectives, that's basically just what are you trying to do? And there's three objectives that you can choose from that have subcategories. Conversions being my favorite, where you're trying to drive someone to do something. So maybe you're trying to drive someone to your website and you can tell Facebook what that conversion is. So maybe I'm collecting email addresses. Another one might be awareness, where you're just trying to generate interest in your brand and get people to download the app or shop. And finally, there's one called consideration, where you're encouraging people to buy your product or service or send traffic at your website. Just get engagement on your video views or do lead generation. Buying is how are you buying your ad slots? This is almost always auction. With the campaigns that I've set up recently, auction's the only option that you can choose from. And that's what it sounds like. So when you set your budget, when your ad goes up against someone else, Facebook puts you behind the scenes into an auction and may the highest bidder win in most cases. So Facebook will dynamically control the auction bidding for you. And that's it. So here when you set up a new campaign, this is what it's going to look like. You can see it says create campaign. I can enter my campaign name, the buying type that we spoke about. So this is usually auction. The campaign objective. So here I've selected traffic. So Facebook's going to optimize your ad for whatever your objective is. So this is very important. And when you choose your objective, the sub options are going to change. So there's certain things you can and can't do depending on what your objective is. So with my campaigns, like if I choose conversion, I'm going to tell Facebook on a later stage what that conversion is so it can optimize my ad campaign to best perform for what I'm trying to get, what I'm trying to achieve. So this is just a breakdown of the different campaign objectives. This is in the Power Editor. Facebook is the ads manager is looking more and more like the Power Editor each day. And soon, maybe even by the time you watch this, they'll probably just have one section on their platform where you set up the ad. So users aren't confused between the differences between the ad manager and the Power Editor. But I always recommend to use the Power Editor over the ads manager because you'll see new features get rolled out there first. Okay, now we're moving on to the middle of the three tiers, which is called the ad set. And historically, ad sets never existed, but Facebook added this and it fundamentally changed how you can organize your ads. This is great. So now this is where you define who will see your ad. So if we continue on the example of we're setting up a campaign for conversions, Here you would set up the budget and the audience for the ad set. So a single ad set can be thought of as a bucket to hold multiple ads with similar objectives but different creatives. So one ad set might be that you're targeting a younger demographic, like 18 to 25-year-olds in a certain city. And then another ad set might be you're targeting 25 to 50-year-olds in another city. So you can basically split up your objectives into buckets of different demographics. So what you'll find is the ad set level is critically important. It allows you to separate your different audiences. So if you see that one of your audiences is outperforming the other, you could say, I want to turn off the less performing ad set and increase the budget for the better performing ad set. And this will give you much more granular control over your campaigns. So let's look at an ad set example. Let's say we create a campaign with its objective to send traffic to our website. We can further break that ad set up, and target different audiences or different types of conversions. And again, this is what we talked about. It gives us independent control over the budget and delivery of these ad sets. It also improves the ad reporting because we can just clearly see at the ad set level which one's doing the best. Although you can look at, if we lumped everything into just one ad set, we could still look at the ad reporting and see which city or ages are responding best to our ad sets. But at that point, we're lacking the control to turn on or off or increase the budget. So to look at some ad set examples, you might have one ad set that's just for a custom audience. This is an audience that you created, say from your CRM. You have a list or email addresses that you put in Facebook, and you have a specific audience that you've created that we're targeting. Or you have a lookalike audience. Let's take that same database of emails, you put it into Facebook, and if you have 100 of those or more, Facebook will match people that are similar to your existing audience. Those are really, really powerful, especially in some countries where maybe you have to use lookalike audiences because there's certain privacy rules where you can't target a custom audience and go after people directly. You might have to use lookalike audiences. In the US, it's not really a problem. We can target almost anybody as long as it's not drugs or pornography. So specific interests or behaviors, you can target people that maybe just like ice skating or who knows, Mars, they want to go to the moon. Email subscribers, if you have a list of emails, you can target them, or people that maybe just watched 3 seconds or more of your video views, or anybody that's visited your website, we can retarget them. It becomes pretty powerful. So this is just a short list of ad set examples. So this is what it looks like when you have some ad sets set up in the Power Editor. Here I've chosen my campaign and I'm now on the ad set tab. I have 3 ad sets selected. Their status is all set to on, and then delivery will show you if it's active or approved, or maybe one ad is pending. Results are how many conversions or whatever your objective is. It'll show you if you're achieving those objectives. So here I have something I called a lead, which means someone has put in their information on our website. This is what it costs to get that lead. Reach. This is how many people, like individual people, have seen your ad. And people can see ads more than one time. So impressions just means how many times it's basically been on the screen. Clicks, how many clicks your ad set has received. Your CPM is going to be cost per 1,000 impressions. So this is what Facebook is estimating I'll pay once I reach 1,000 impressions. Cost per click, which is 37 cents for every click, and my click-through rate, which is going to be the click-through rate of this particular ad set. So you can compare these metrics to determine which ad set is performing the best. So now let's move to the third and final level, which is the ad level. This is where you define your creative. Creative being the copy, so the text that's in the ad, or the imagery. So we've set up our campaign with an objective and defined that objective, and then the ad set, we've broken that up into what kind of audiences we want to target. And from within there, we can set up multiple ad creatives that might have different copy or different imagery to see what our audience is responding to. So here's an example in the Power Editor of the ad level. So here I'm on the ads tab and I've selected one ad set. From within that ad set, I have an image and a video. So you can set this up however you want, but you can basically see and test to see what your audience is responding to. So it's fairly easy. You just upload your images or videos, and from for each ad, you can modify that text or copy. So you can ignore these statistics because it's only been running for a little short period of time, but so far it looks like my image I would probably stick with because it's had more impressions and reach. I've also gotten a lead off of that and it's getting way more clicks. So some finishing thoughts and reminders. The structure between campaigns, ad sets, and ads are going to define your success because they allow granularity between your ads and you can control the budget and delivery over those audiences that you break out. When setting up the campaign, the objectives also change Facebook's default ad reporting. So the metrics that you see in the Power Editor or Ads Manager are different depending on your objective. It's also going to be what Facebook optimizes your campaign for. So just be careful that you're choosing the correct objective for what your goals are. So use this structure to your advantage for split testing. Set up lots of ads and see how those perform against each other. The caveat being when using really low budgets, say like $5 or $10 a day, if you're going to set up like 100 ads, most of those aren't going to get delivered because there's not enough budget to go around. So in those cases, you need to either up your budget or bring down the amount of ads you're testing. There are tools like AdExpresso or Quaya, which is Qwaya, that you can use for split testing it basically builds off the Facebook API, so you can do almost everything you can do in Facebook plus a lot more, and that can be really helpful. But Facebook is becoming better and better at doing split testing just natively in the Facebook advertising platform. So for me, I stick to that, but AdExpresso, both of those options that I provided are also really nice and worth giving a look, and I have no affiliation to either of them. So hopefully this was helpful. Please get in touch with me if you have questions. I'm michaelmerritt.io on Facebook, Michael Merritt on YouTube, and Michael of SF on Twitter. I'd love to talk to you. And if you're looking for someone to run your Facebook campaigns, reach out to me at michaelmerritt.io. Fill out the contact form there and I'll get back to you. Also, if you find this helpful, definitely subscribe to my channel. I'll be releasing more videos, and leave any questions or comments in the comment fields below. Thanks.